veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no, I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capping space. I won't stop till I hear him say,
woo! Welcome back, welcome back. We are here with Married at First Sight, season 16, episode 1569 and 11.
That's exactly what it feels.
Also known as Nashville Reunion Part 2. How you doing today, Kimberly?
Doing well, trying to stay as cool as possible in the Carolinas. How are you?
Oh, good. We have rain here today, so it's actually cooled off quite a bit. It's only in the mid 70s, so it's not bad. I still got a fan blowing because it's actually kind of humid, but hey, what can you say? Good to see you guys. Welcome in. Come on in the room. Come on in. Yes, Pandy's Hair Care, MLW Fishing Man. Yes, good to see you. Yes. Mama McCrazy. All right. Mom of 4 boys. Good to see you. Monique King. Yes. Our 18 member extraordinaire. Also moderator extraordinaire. She's in the house. And LMV. Yes. Thumbs up, guys. Please. How's everyone? Yes. We're good. So, well, are you got anything planned for this holiday? I don't know. You know what I've been wondering, maybe you can tell me, are banks and things closed tomorrow? You know, like I know it's the 3rd, but are they closed tomorrow so that they can kind of run the holiday days together or what?
No, I haven't heard that. Only Tuesday from my area.
Okay, that's probably right. I just couldn't quite figure it out because it's weird, you know, when these holidays fall on different days of the week, how they celebrate. Had it been Monday, you know, then obviously it would have been closed. But okay, that makes sense. That makes perfect sense. But girl, they are dragging this season out. I don't know what to tell you. It's just your Clinty Poo and these other people.
Yes, I like it.
You love your Clinty Poo, huh? So we know we're open where we left off. Reunion Part 1. Shaq's pouring out. I'm sorry. You know what? Now, so we're going to come back to. We made an executive decision to return to that. That's the highlight with Shaquille and Kirsten and the mothers. Okay, all right. We're going to return to that at the end. We won't be here long. We're here for a good time, not a long time. Yes. Okay. So the next up, we have. We have Dominique and Mac. They come out on stage to chat with Kevin Frazier, and we're shown highlights in a montage of back in the day, which of course was the honeymoon basically for them, when they actually seemed to have chemistry and they were getting along together, so forth and so on. Do you remember those days, Kimberly?
Oh, yes. They were not too long ago, but it just feels like it was so long ago.
Yeah, because can you remember the part? Okay, remember they were in Jamaica, and I think they were in the pool, not in the ocean or anything, but they were in the pool, and they were saying things like, we are not going to have SEX, hot and heavy time in this pool. We are not going to have hot and heavy time in this pool. Do you remember that?
Yes, and I was like, okay, we may have something here. And the tables turn.
And you know, here's a question I've been wondering because I never, and maybe I missed it. Tell me if I went and got a refreshing beverage and maybe I missed it. But did they ever find out? Because you know how nosy Nicole is, right? Did they ever find out or ask Dom and Mac while they were still together if they had hot and heavy time?
I don't remember. They just left and ended things so quickly. But from that pool scene, I would bet good money that they did. They were too close and just too outspoken about being attracted to each other. Even on the reunion Part 2, they both said that they were attracted to each other. So that, and you know, you cuddle all up in the pool, we know what comes next.
Yeah, we're all adults here. Yes, I believe so too. Tell us down in the comments, guys, if you think that these two consummated their marriage. I really believe they do. Absolutely. And yes, oh, and by the way, definitely go over to Kimberly Reviews, pick her up, become her subscriber, her family. She does wonderful live watches. And I think, what is it, this Friday you'll be doing a live watch for Ready to Love?
Yep, it's back. The new season is here.
All right, all right. Amen, amen. And we'll be covering that also on Sundays. I think we picked out a time. I think it's 7, but don't quote me on that. But it'll be around 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hey, Kirby, how are you? Good to see you in the
Hey,
chat. Hey.
yes.
Yes, but we'll get back to the notes here. And so let's see. So back with Mac and Dominique. Um so then it wasn't until uh in my recollection, now this is me adding this into my notes, but putting my own spin on it. It wasn't until Mac really went to Clint, and when Clint was kind of talking about this conversation that Clinty Pooh, had with Gina and the fallout that they had had, it wasn't until then when Mac said that he thought that Gina was fine, fine, right? Um,
Right,
that's when things started to seems to me that things started to go down between Dominique and Mac, which I find to be quite a coincidence, right?
right,
Because once they got back from their honeymoon, Dominique had started to find fault with Mac, and I think maybe Mac was doing things because here's a real thing, ladies. Men will do things to get on your nerves to cause and start a fight, right? Simply because they don't have the heart or the courage to break up with you. Has anybody else ever experienced
Mhm.
that? I know
Oh
I have.
yeah.
I know I have. Guys will start arguments, and really it wasn't for a breakup, but me and my girlfriend were talking about this the other night. How this one guy I dated would always try to have an argument with me on Thursday just so he could hang out with his boys on. And it took me a while to catch on to this trend, and then my girlfriend,
Wow.
paying attention to this. Next time he tries to start a fight with you, just don't give in. Don't argue. Don't counterpoint. And sure enough, I did that, and we laughed about that ever since after that because he never did that again. Like you gotta be slicker than these men. I'm here to tell you, these men are slicksters. They straight out of New York. Okay, they got tricks. They got tricks of the trade, and you better know how to counter. Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
But getting back to Mac and Don, I noticed that it felt like to me that Mac and Dominique really kind of fell off after Mac basically has stated that he thought that Gina was really gorgeous. And I'm wondering, so let's talk about this for a second. Because tell me what you think, Kimberly. We know that Mac sent Gina a DM, fire emoji, and this kind of thing. Do you think that maybe this was going on right during or right after the honeymoon, maybe when they got back to their apartment?
Oh no, I don't think so. Because to me, that would have been too soon, and Gina
Mm.
would not respect McKinley if that had happened like during the honeymoon or during the season. I don't think that she would respect him enough to continue seeing him now, or even be interested in seeing him now. So I think it was after everything
Oh,
was decided, as far as McKinley and Dominique separating. I just can't believe it was during filming. Like during the early stages.
oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Okay, that's a counter. That's a counter, guys. But I'm telling you, you heard it here first. I honestly think it happened right after the honeymoon. Because think about it. I hear what you're saying, and that makes sense in an ordinary circumstance. But to me, first of all, it's low integrity under any circumstances for these two people to get together with all the other single people that there are in the world. Why would you
Hmm.
go after someone that you supposedly friends with? Clinty Poo, Mac and Clint are supposedly friends, allegedly, or at least acquaintances. And under this small circumstance of only 5 couples, out of all the women in the world, as my boy Chris would say from an earlier season of Married at First Sight, I think that was season 12. Out of
Yeah.
all the women in the world, why would you go after your boy's ex-wife? I don't get it. I don't
Yeah.
get it. And I'm thinking the reason why I say that too though, because I was gonna say, so Gina basically didn't like her husband Clint during the honeymoon. So for me, in her mind, she had already cut it off because remember now, think back. Remember how Gina was saying that she was going to wanted to separate from Clint right when they
Hmm.
got back. So that kind of fits into my little theory. Now I'm just saying it's a theory. It's just a theory.
Right.
So okay, but let's see. I guess we will never know, but but here's where I do have to apologize to my audience and my subscribers and viewers. And with you, Kimberly, I have to agree now. And looking at this reunion part two, I will agree that I think that Dominique is a little more immature than I first had said. What did you think
Hmm.
about Dominique's maturity during that the season?
Oh, just too young. And I hate to say her age every time, but the girl is 25. Let's flash back to when we were 25, the 25-year-olds we know now. McKinley was just way ahead of her. I guess like it just wasn't a good pair for her. She needed someone maybe 27, 28-ish, a little
Yeah,
closer to her age, on her
her age.
level. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
maybe even with their own apartment, not necessarily a house, but maybe their own apartment, somebody
Mm-hmm.
more so down on her level. But she was very immature. I mean, just the way that she even said that they didn't communicate well. Thankfully, she did speak up and say, take um, full
Account.
advantage of, yeah,
Yeah.
accountability and advantage of the opportunity to say we didn't communicate well, because all she wanted McKinley to do was to stand up and be more aggressive and make her stay. That's pretty much what she said. But can you imagine if McKinley would have told that girl, get your mess and stay here, you ain't going nowhere? We all would have been saying, why is he holding her hostage? It would have been a whole nother story.
Right, right.
But
I
yeah,
know.
she is so immature.
Oh boy, I agree with you. I think it's funny that she's like one of two or three people that basically came out and said, I needed them to fight for me. I
Yes.
needed him to fight for me. Because I feel like, and we're gonna get to in just a second, we're gonna get to the Shaq and the Kirsten, I decided, like I said, to
Hmm.
move them, save them for last, which it won't be long. But she's like all of these people kind of like I said, so she's not the only one immature here though, because Mac, to be
Oh
fair,
yeah.
Mac was a horrible communicator. Like he's
Hmm.
saying now in part two of the reunion that, that he didn't really understand. He didn't really vet his wife. He didn't really talk to her about how she was feeling. And I guess to be fair, the two, getting back to Dominique, she did say that she kind of jumped up and said, yeah, I want a divorce. Kind of sounds a little bit similar to Shaq when he's saying that, he just kind of spoke and said something, but then he regretted it right after. I don't know. These people, these people.
Right. Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know. It was sad just to see her now saying, "Oh, maybe I should have tried," because neither of us communicated well. Really?
Right, exactly, really. But let's slide over. Let's talk about the experts for a minute because we know that the experts came out. They did have Dr. Pia, but unfortunately they didn't have Pastor Devon Franklin. I don't know what that was all about. Maybe he was busy with a speaking engagement or his book tour or what have you not. I don't know. But what do you think about when the experts, what could they have done more to help these couples maybe earlier on? What do you think, Kimberly?
Honestly, I think I have the unpopular opinion. I'm blaming the people because I feel like the experts gave them the tools to have a decent marriage, but they just didn't use it. Look at Clint. Every time they came back and told my Clinty Pooh and Gina what to do, and did you try it? They were like, no. Even with the bag, like the goodie bag with the feather and the handcuffs and stuff, they were just so dry with it. Like it wasn't no emotion in that thing at all. They were just like, oh yeah, this is the cheese grater and this is the feather. And it was nothing like passionate about it. Like, no, this is not a cheese grater. This is, something to massage your body.
Whatever that
Like
was.
things right. But no, I just feel like the people did not do the work. Shaquille and Kirsten, they did not open up. Kirsten didn't want to let her walls down. Dominique McKinley already admitted they didn't communicate, which is what the experts tell us to do. Every
Mhm.
episode, get to
Well,
know
wait
your
a
partner,
minute
open
now.
up.
Well, we haven't got to it yet, but while you on your run, now you're doing a real good rant, girl. But while you on your rant, what is it that Shaq didn't do or did do that he could have done better? Come on now.
The
Talk about
same.
this Shaq thing.
Yep. Shaq was in his feelings because he was just like in his head. This girl is out of my league. That was basically what I feel like Shaquille was thinking the whole time, but it was his
Mm,
own insecurities. Like you got to get out of your insecurities in these relationships, and that's what Shaquille couldn't do. He was just
mm.
holding on to this girl is beautiful, but she has high standards, and I don't think I can meet them. And he could have because Kirsten was willing to lower her standards. We saw that clearly.
She clearly was because she went with that bald headed man, and she said she didn't want no bald headed man, but she went with him.
Thank
She
you.
loved her beside, and things that we found out that we didn't know during the season was that Shaquille had a whole C19, we'll call it C19. Okay, he had that panorama thing going on.
Hmm.
Now we knew that Eris had came down with it, and Jasmine had been the dutiful wife and taking care of him. But we did not know, and this is why I say I fight so hard for Kirsten because people want to put Kirsten down. But this show is famous for putting women in a box and making the men seem like they're so great when they're really not that great. Because Kirsten, we find out, took care of Shaq while he had this C19, and nobody even said a word about it during the season.
Oh yeah, yep. And even the night cam that they show where Shaquille came in and ignored her. People want to act like that's not a big deal, and it is.
It is. It is.
You don't ignore me. To me, that's abuse. When I'm speaking to you and you shut down and you're not responding, that's a form of abuse, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's something for sure because, and at the very least, I mean, it's beyond rude because we're not talking about a stranger, we're not talking about an acquaintance, we're
Right.
not talking about coworkers, we're talking about spouses here. We're talking about these two
Yes.
people are married and they're at the beginning of their marriage. So what is that? That means they're creating the foundation, the very
Hmm.
foundation that the whole marriage will stand on. And you mean to tell me we're not even 3 months, 2 months into it, and you can't speak to me? There's a
Thank
problem.
you. Thank
There's a
you.
problem. There's a really, really big problem, but I don't
Exactly.
think Shaq like women like that. But that's just me speaking. Oop. Oop, I didn't mean to slide that out like that. Oop, oop. Uh, but let me see what else we have here. I think that's it. I think now we can come on back. I'm gonna come on back to my notes for Shaquille and Kirsten, and we're gonna wrap this thing up. Um, so like I said, we opened up and we saw that we left off where reunion part one left off. Shaq is pouring out his 101 excuses. And where's my notebook? Don't be trying to hide from me, notebook. I see you right over there trying to hide, trying to be like Shaq. Trying to hide in the closet, trying to hide in the closet. Okay, excuse number one. Excuse number one. The prophet told me that I should be selfish, that I should speak up for myself. Excuse
Hmm.
number two, the experts task that they gave me showed how really messed up I really was. So I'm going back to therapy. Excuse number
See?
three, I wasn't good enough for Kirsten. She was out of my league. Excuse number four, she didn't support me enough. She should go to work with me every day. Excuse number five. She didn't introduce me to her dad soon enough. Excuse
Mhm.
number six. Her family didn't meet with me often enough. Excuse number seven. I was being selfish, so I decided to say no. Excuse number eight. I wanted to move to Austin, and next up on my list is San Francisco. Wink, wink.
Mhm.
wanted excuse number nine. I wanted her to be more like my mom, but with benefits, if you catch my drift. Excuse
Mhm.
number 10. I move around a lot for work, etc., blah, blah, blah. You get the drift, guys? You get the idea
Yeah.
of what I'm saying here? Shaq had
Yes.
101 excuses, and none of them sounded legit. None of them.
Right.
Was there one
Right.
excuse that you found to be particularly legit? Because I just couldn't find anything that was legit.
I didn't, and we got to hold Shaquille to the fire like we did McKinley, because if Shaquille knew that he wanted to move, just like McKinley knew he wasn't planning to stay in,
Hmm.
Tennessee. That doesn't look good. So they really just expected to come on this show and find a wife who was just willing to pick up everything and run.
Right. And only
That's a
knowing
bit
you,
much.
and here's the rub, and only knowing you for 2 months. We're not talking about a regular marriage where people
Right.
typically are courted for a year and a half. You get to know the person, you get to know their family, you get to see what they're made of, you get to see them in every kind of mood. You see them angry,
Hmm.
you see them, this way, that way, and then you feel comfortable. Well, this brother can withstand life. He can withstand life.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm willing to move with him now, but not after no 1 or 2 months. No, I'm not gonna leave my
Hmm.
family, my father, who is a whole judge, talking about Kirsten's dad. And no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to go out here. And the plus, let me look at this. I'm sorry. I mean, he's a professional man, but I don't like a man that's always bumping around from job to job. And I'm going to tell you something. If you go back to the first episode this season, the Meet the Cast or whatever, you will find that Shaq was talking about he has never had a sustained relationship because he moves around so much. What's up with that, Shaq? What's up with that?
See, and that's not good. You already know this. You're aware of the issue, and you're still doing it. That's a red flag.
Red flag. I call red flag on the play. Red flag on the play.
Yeah.
But now, well, let's move on. So we see that uh Kevin Frazier is doing a really good job of ganging up on this couple. So he brings out the moms. He brings out the reinforcement with the moms. And the moms look absolutely amazing and beautiful. What did you think, Kimberly, of
Yes.
the moms?
Oh, yes. They did. They represented very well. I was so proud and happy to see the family. I love when the family actually comes in. It says a lot.
It does. It does. And I really believe that these two women were sincere. They both seem to want the marriage to work and to continue on and be successful. Um and I don't know though, but I don't think that there was much that, and I think it seemed to me that Kirsten's mom kind of got it more so than Shaq's mom. Kirsten's mom seemed to, even though she was very eloquent and very like she picked her words very carefully, but I think
Yes.
she got that this is not maybe gonna work. But what do you think? Maybe they have gotten back together. Is that possible in your opinion?
I think so. It's possible because even Shaquille's mother still refers to Kirsten as her daughter. So that says a
Hmm.
lot. And maybe now, even though we know Kirsten watches her words too, and maybe that's where she got it from her mom. But
Hmm.
also, maybe Kirsten's mom didn't want to say too much because she didn't want to spill the beans,
Ah,
too early. Because it was
okay.
mighty funny that they did agree to go out on a date.
Yes, they did. They did at Kevin's urging that they go out while they were, and I'm assuming this was taped in California because they said here, and here was apparently somewhere other than Nashville. So I'm assuming they were out in California filming this. Okay, so they probably went out for the date, and then we noticed too off screen that the camera kind of followed them as they were getting ready to go to a commercial break. Now they're off the set, and we see Shaq and Kirsten kind of hugged up and talking, and he
Mhm.
gives her a hug and he says, well, we will talk later. But I don't know if it's just me or maybe it was the cameras again, or once again Shaq being shy, but both while he was on the set and as he's off the set and he's talking to her and he tells her he will talk to her later, I feel like Shaq once again is being um he's kind of being wishy-washy, if you will. Maybe that's the best word I
Yes.
can use for that. So what did you
Mhm.
think?
I think so too. He's not 100% sure what he wants, and then it's just all the pressure stuff, which is why I kind of understand the prophet saying be selfish, because I guess he's just always wanting to please other people, and maybe
Mhm.
that's just what it is when you're a mentor, because that's what he is, a mentor, and I guess he just wants to please and have the best for these guys, and that's just how he is in relationships. But no, I don't see Shaquille being that leader, that
Mm-mm.
provider, the head of the household at all.
Girl, no, more like another kid. If you have children, more like another child. I mean,
Yeah.
one thing I noted about Shaquille, and I'm gonna state this: we're all adults here, and I'm gonna state this in very polite language. Shaq, has got a pretty nice size package there. So now,
Mhm.
if it's worth if it's worth it to sister girl to hang on to that package at all costs, at the cost of, like Kimberly pointed out, non-leadership skills, uh, very emotional and very moody. If I could say that, I think the bigger word is moody. I don't think I'd
Mhm.
want to be married to a moody person. I don't like moody men. I don't think that men should display or exhibit signs of moodiness all the time. And, like he said, he's going to a therapist, and maybe that's a good thing because maybe at the end of the day, when he gets to a therapist and maybe gets to a psychiatrist to get medication, maybe there's something going on underlying all of this as to why he behaves the way he behaves. Because I just don't. I don't like it. I, 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 don't, I, don't, I, don't, I, don't like it. I, 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 I couldn't see myself being married to someone that's always going to be moody.
Mhm.
you know. But I
Yeah.
wish them well. In either case, I wish them well. I mean, who am I to say? If as the saying goes, if Kirsten likes it, I love it. I love it
Right.
for her.
Oh yeah, I could definitely see them rekindling. Shaquille just needs a
Mhm.
lot of work. He's been through so much in life, back to back, and to lose your family, accident, and now you got a scar, and you know,
Mhm.
what graduate school, getting his doctorate, that is stressful and creates a
Yeah,
whole nother
it's true.
person. And now he's lost his grandmother. The boy has
Yeah.
been through a lot.
He's been through a lot. Yeah, and I will say, and condolences to the Shaquille family over the
Yes,
loss of the grandmother, because I did find her very enjoyable, very sweet, and I know we don't ever want to lose our grandmothers or grandfathers. And I did enjoy it, but I think the beauty of that, I will say this: one of the good things this season is that they captured her on film, so he can always look back at that.
yes,
And she cleaned up; she looked really nice. I mean, she looked beautiful. She had a smile
yes,
on her face. She articulated herself well. So we see where Shaq gets his his eloquence from. He has a very articulate family, and like I said again, my deepest condolences to them in the loss of their his grandmother.
yes, me
So
too.
is there anything else you want to add before we wrap up? Any other scenes or anything of importance that maybe stuck out to you, Kimberly?
Just the part Kirsten brought up, reminding us to
Mm,
just learn to live in the moment, not just exist. And like you just said about losing loved ones, that's a very important part because you never know when someone's last day will be. So it is important to just take the moment as it is and then try to build and grow relationships with family and friends and just be open to living, not just existing. So that was a great point from Kirsten.
okay. And can you also tell our audience and our viewers what you have going on your channel this week coming up?
Yes, so I posted my link already for Wednesday because we will be live Wednesday night figuring out where are they now with Married at First Sight. Kind of looking forward to that just to see what's going on. And then Ready to Love. I believe we have a new season Friday starting, and I'll be live Wednesday and Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And go ahead and check out some of my travel videos. I posted a short clip of my time in Paris at the Eiffel Tower yesterday, and it's getting some good views already. So
I
thank
was
you for
gonna
the support.
say it came up in my notifications, and I'm so excited because that is one of my places I want to visit. So I'm so excited and happy for you, and I'm gonna
Awesome.
go over and watch some more of your travel videos. I also want to tell our viewers and our members of the A team here that I'll be going live on Thursday, 8:55 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and that's for the show the one on TV1, and then
Mhm.
again on Saturday for OWN's very own Love and Marriage Detroit. That's at 8:55 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So come on over and join us for our live watch party. And then on Wednesdays and Fridays, you can join Kimberly. And then we'll be back again, once again, on Sunday. We'll be covering where they are now.
Yes.
Yes. So we're gonna you're gonna go ahead. Let me find this music. You're gonna go ahead and say goodbye, Kimberly, and we're gonna shimmy and shake on
Yes.
out of here.
Take care, y'all. Thanks for the support.
Thank you for supporting us. We love and appreciate you. Bye now.